What weapon does the tree sentinel in Limgrave drop?
The tree sentinel in Limgrave drops the golden halberd weapon. It's a great early faith weapon, scaling primarily with strength, faith, and dexterity.
So I'm just gonna click the side button of my mouse here to get some extra information about this item.
The Dectus Medallion is a key item you find in Elden Ring, divided into two halves. The left half, which you see in the image, is found early in the game in Limgrave and shows the Erd tree.
So what you just saw here was the AI assistant system I have created for any video game. I have been using it for Elden Ring, but you can adapt it to any kind of video game you love to play. So let me show you how this works. So here you can kind of see an overview of how I set this up. So I am controlling this by using my PC mouse. Since I play with this controller here, I can kind of have my mouse free. So I can press like the scroll button just to ask a question. And I can press the side button on my mouse to take a screenshot that will be processed by GPT-4, sent over to this Python hub, and it will be using the information from the screenshot via a prompt, and I'm using the Groq API. You can insert whatever LLM you want here, and we get the response back from like an 11 Labs voice I just set up. The other way is to, we can press scroll to speech. I can ask a question, and it kind of goes the same way. It's get transcribed into the Python hub, and we get the response back in our lab. So it's a pretty easy setup, but it works pretty good. And I'm very happy with how it's been performing so far. Before we do many more examples and take a look at the code, let me introduce you to today's sponsor. Are you curious to learn more about the technology that enables AI? Then you're in for a treat with Brilliant.org, the sponsor of today's video. Brilliant simplifies learning by offering engaging courses in computer science, math, and much more. It's all about an interactive, hands-on experience. Dive into the Vectors course to explore the core of physics, graphics, and machine learning. You get to apply vectors in exciting ways, from programming a video game to using vectors in machine learning. Then unleash your creativity with the course Creative Coding, where you learn to bring ideas to life using variables and loops. Brilliant makes these complex topics approachable and enjoyable with interactive exercises and guided problem solving. You gain skills that stick. So if you're curious about turning abstract concepts into real-world applications, Brilliant is the place to start. Head over to brilliant.org/allaboutAI to start your learning journey, or just click the link in the description for a free 30-day trial. The first 200 of you that signs up will receive 20% off an annual premium subscription. A big thanks to Brilliant for sponsoring this video. Now let's go back to the project. Before we take a look at how I kind of set this up in Python, let's just fire this up and do a few more examples. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is travel to this church here, take a screenshot of the statue to get some more information, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna go here, turn around, and do like a screenshot. And let's see if we get some information about... I think this is Queen Marika. So I wanted to see if we can get some information about this lore here.
Sure thing. So the image shows the third Church of Marika, a place dedicated to Marika, a big-time goddess in Elden Ring. This church, like others honoring Marika, can have cool items like sacred tears. Those are key for upgrading your sacred flask, which is super helpful for healing or powering your character's abilities.
What can you tell me about Queen Marika in Elden Ring?
Queen Marika, also known as Marika the Eternal, is a crucial character in Elden Ring's lore. She was once the Queen of the Lands Between and the vessel of the Elden Ring, a powerful artifact that binds the world together. Marika had a significant impact on the world and the course of events in the game. Marika was the mother of the demigods, powerful beings who were her offspring with Godfrey, the first Elden Lord.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I just think it's very cool, like if you discover some lore in the game, you can just ask more about it. So I really like that, because the Elden Ring story is very complicated. So sometimes I don't even know what's happening here. Okay, so one thing that can be a bit confusing is kind of the stats, right? So if we go to status here and we go to base stat, we can see we have something called poise. So let's ask about that. So in my base stats, I have this thing called poise. It's at 34. What does even poise do in Elden Ring?
Poise in Elden Ring determines how likely you are to be staggered or interrupted during attacks. If you have a high poise, you can resist interruptions and keep attacking, making it useful for heavy, slow weapons. However, poise doesn't have a significant impact on faster weapons. At 34 poise, you'll have some resistance to interruptions, but won't be as resistant as with higher poise values.
Okay, yeah, that was pretty good, right? if you didn't know what poise was, I think that was a perfect answer. Of course, you can follow up with more questions if you had that too. So yeah, pretty good. So let's ask a bit about kind of attribute points here. So I'm playing a samurai. So what kind of stats should I focus on? Should I do like arcane, or should I do dexterity, vigor? I'm kind of unsure here. It's my first time playing.
As a samurai in Elden Ring, you'll want to focus on dexterity, dex, and vigor. Dex will increase your damage and let you use better weapons, while vigor enhances your HP, allowing you to take more damage. For a samurai, I'd recommend investing in dex first, then vigor. Strength, STR, can be useful too, but it's not as important for a dex-focused build. Arcane is more suited for magic-oriented builds, so you can ignore it for your samurai.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good, right? Again, I kind of get exactly what I asked for, and like dex and vigor is pretty good things to do when you are playing like a samurai, right? Okay, so I just found this fire grease here, so let me just screenshot that and let's see what kind of information we will get from this.
Sure thing. So in the image, you see the item fire grease. This item lets you add fire damage to your weapon, which is super useful against enemies weak to fire.
Yeah, again, I think that was quite okay. Okay, so I wanted to try something I'm pretty sure we can't get an answer to. So I wanted to try to screenshot Raya Lucaria here and see if we can get, yeah, a good answer back.
In the image, you see a character gazing at Stormvile Castle, the first major dungeon in Elden Ring. This ominous fortress is ruled by Godric the Grafted, a demigod and shardbearer. Defeating him advances the main story. In simpler terms, it's a spooky, complicated place ruled by a powerful, creepy dude you need to defeat.
Okay, that wasn't too bad. It guessed Stormvale Castle. That was the previous castle, right? But we are in Liurnia of the Lakes now, so I'm just gonna try to ask about this instead. I'm in Liurnia of Lakes, and I'm standing in front of this big castle. Where can this be?
It sounds like you're in the realm of Liurnia of the Lakes, and standing in front of Carrion Study Hall. This grand castle is located in the northeastern part of Liurnia, and it's hard to miss with its imposing architecture. Keep an eye out for the magical barriers surrounding the castle, and be prepared for a challenging encounter.
Okay, great. So is there a boss inside there?
Absolutely. The Carrion Study Hall is home to Renala, Queen of the Full Moon. She's the demigod boss you'll encounter here. Prepare for a unique and challenging battle, as Renala has a variety of powerful spells and abilities at her disposal. Good luck.
Okay, I gotta say, that was pretty good, right? Okay, so I was quite impressed by that. I didn't think we will get it, at least not with the screenshot. We didn't, but like when I kind of precised more where I am and what I was looking at, yeah. Again, very impressive. Yeah, I don't think we have to do any more examples. I think we kind of proved that it works. Of course, it's not perfect. That needs a lot more work. So I have been thinking about doing some kind of RAG that we can fetch more up-to-date information, because this is just using like the Mixtral model and the information it has. Didn't add any later information. I just wanted to take a quick look at the Python code here, so I know some of you are interested in that. For the transcribe thing, when I speak to the microphone, we use the faster whisper, and we have this on click here. So this is kind of how I control the actions. So we have the button middle to kind of control the recording part, and we have X2, that is the button, the side of my mouse, to kind of trigger this screenshot function we have here. And we have record audio, yeah, of course, and yeah, we convert those to base 64. We have something to actually play the audio we get back from 11 Labs. Here you can see we have the Groq function. This can be replaced by OpenAI. You can do your local models. You have a lot of options here. It doesn't really matter what kind of LLM you use. But of course, you want to use like an LLM that has up-to-date information about the game you are playing, right? Here is the text-to-speech function. We are just using 11 Labs in this case. Also here you have options, whatever you want. You can just put in whatever you want. And here is kind of our main function that kind of runs this whole loop. It looks a bit confusing. I'm sure the code can be much more optimized, but I just wanted to get this demo up and running. So if you are interested in trying this out, I will be uploading this script with some... I might actually do like a video tutorial on how to set this up yourself on my YouTube members page. So if you want to join, just click the link in the description below, become a member, and just follow the instructions in the intro video there, and I can invite you to the GitHub if you become a member, so you can just try this yourself. Also, let me just show you a quick about the prompts we are using, because we are kind of set this to be kind of this Elden Ring experts, right? So here is where we take the screenshot. So the image description we get back from GPT-4 is going to be fed into this. And we have this prompt: as an Elden Ring expert, explain related lore from the image description. Very short and a conversational way. I guess in a very short and conversational way. The other prompt we have is: you are an Elden Ring expert in Elden Ring. Only describe lore from Elden Ring related to items, location in the image. Keep it short and precise. So that was the system message for describe image. And we also have the system message for our Groq API. So basically, you're an Elden Ring expert, keep the responses short and conversational. Since we are using text-to-speech, I always want to try to keep the responses like conversational, because it just feels more natural, right? Okay, so here you can kind of see how the backend works. So when I press my side button, I kind of save this screenshot to my path here. And here we get the description back from GPT-4. And this gets fed into the prompt. And this is what Groq returns. So in the image, you're seeing a character gazing at Stormmaid Castle. That was wrong, of course. That is kind of how the screen recording part works. So let me show you about the voice recording. So here you kind of see I started recording, and this is what I said. And here we kind of got the response back. We started recording again, and I followed up with, so is there a boss inside there? The Carrion Study is the home to Renala, Queen of the Full Moon. Okay, great. So yeah, you can see this works. So when we run this now, this is just gonna run in like a true loop, right? So when I press the scroll button now, you can see we can record, and I can just stop it again with the scroll button. So basically, we just start with the scroll button and we end with the scroll button. And when it's finished, it kind of goes back into this state where we are just waiting to press one of the buttons again. So it's in a true loop. So it always runs in the background. We don't have to restart it or anything. So yeah, that is basically what I wanted to share with you today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to become a member of the channel and try this out for yourself, just follow the link in the description. Also, don't forget to check out brilliant.org. Have a great day, and I'll see you probably on Wednesday.